Is your child so smart that he's masking his learning issues?
Find out today at Dyslexic and Unstoppable.
Hi, it's Dr. Doug Curtis.
And Lucy Curtis from Dyslexic and Unstoppable. Our mission is to help dyslexics rediscover their inner power.
That's right. And we've heard a lot recently from parents and people, friends of ours, about some experiences that reminded us our experience way back when our son was we were first finding out he was dyslexic. So why don't you describe like our experience back then?
Right. Well, first of all, we didn't even know he was dyslexic.
Right.
We didn't even believe he was dyslexic. We didn't, we're in denial, all these things, right? But one of the key components that the director of the reading, like the dyslexia school, said that a lot of times when, and that's what our son was presenting is because some of them are very, very smart, they are able to find ways and tools to, either like if they have a text they have to read, but they don't necessarily are able to read the whole thing, but they can figure enough of it by listening what the teacher says, by reading the words here and there, and figure out what the answer would be. And then it would take a long time for the teachers and the parents to actually figure out that there was an underlying learning issue or dyslexia or whatever it is, because they are so smart and able to mask it.
Yeah, exactly.
And the other thing that brings up is you need to, if you know your kid is really, really smart and could do that, that could delay the services,
Right?
Because then it doesn't show like the director explained is because they do that, they get along, right, in the class, but because they're not getting the services they need, they're losing all this time of getting the services and learning the right way of reading and writing and things like that they're like in 7th grade by the time they get the services they need, and they're very behind.
Right, exactly.
Right?
And I can remember, it's so funny because when we heard these recent stories recently, it really put me back into that time. And I remember thinking, when she said, because we didn't even go to that school because we thought he was dyslexic. We just thought, we need help with reading. So
101, we wanted 101.
Yeah, 101 reading, and that's it. So when she said that, I was like, why is she thinking he's dyslexic? There's no way, he's doing fine. And that when she explained that because they're so smart, they can compensate for it early on, but as the work gets harder and stuff gets more difficult, it's often much more difficult for them to do it. And this gets to two of our main goals in Dyslexic and Unstoppable. One is that early identification, connecting the dots, figuring out the child who's having trouble with reading was maybe getting speech therapy, maybe getting some occupational therapy for handwriting issues, difficulty with tying shoes, left and right confusion, all the stuff we talk about, right? So that early identification piece. And the second thing is the self-esteem, because that's the whole thing. You need to, get services as early as possible to get them help as early as possible to maintain the self-esteem.
And the other part that comes up for me is because they're doing that, they're not getting the services they need, so they're not actually at their fullest potential, right? They're not achieving their fullest potential because that was, not to take it like me, but that's kind of what I did when I was little. I didn't know I was dyslexic, and I did the best that I could, and I did pretty well. But I think if I would have gotten the services that I would have needed, I would have done really well, right? So even though they can be high achievers in some parts, there's other parts that lacks, and they're not really achieving the potential that they have.
Right, exactly. And that goes to the final point, which is we're always talking about advocating for your child, right? And to trust that feeling inside, that parental feeling that says, I know my child's smart, I know he can do more than this or she can do more than this, and I'm going to do whatever I can to help them. So let us know what you think. Leave us a comment below and visit us at Dyslexic and Unstoppable.
Thank you.